So these guys are my heroes right here. It's Nodler Automotive, and we're in Gothenburg, Nebraska. So these guys really squared me away. I was beyond despair yesterday, 8 miles out of here, and I didn't know exactly what was going on. I didn't know if the brakes locked up, if it was an axle bearing, what was going on. But the whole rear of the car started to shudder. The driver's side wheel was emitting smoke. There was a definite horrid smell. It ended up being an axle bearing, and that was kind of my worry because obviously I didn't pack a press. So I rolled in here about 3:40ish. These guys got me like right in, diagnosed the issue. It was the axle bearing. Got axle bearings overnight, and we ended up spending the night here. And this is actually a really nice town. So they have a Pony Express station here, one of the originals that was moved into town and done up. So you need to stop and see that. Glenn and I went to the sod house today. Fortunately, Glenn followed my limping car back. We were on the Lincoln Highway going maybe 48 miles back into town to make it here. These guys are gonna be squared away. So the new axle bearings are on, they're pressed on. Just waiting on a couple of seals, which were supposed to be here at 7:30, but apparently the truck was running late. But as soon as the seals are in, we should be back on the road and pressing west. There's the man. Good job, brother. Appreciate you. You got him in?
Got him in.
Oh, outstanding. Awesome.
Picked up some drums and stuff. We got everything thrown together there, so
Outstanding.
we are about to finish her up.
You need to get an S on that shirt you have there for Superman, because I was in another level of despair. I don't know if you could tell when I came in, but
Well, I know. Yep.
yeah, I was.
Yep.
Tony's usually cool, calm, and collected, but I never seen him quite that
He
ready.
was a little worked up.
I was
Yeah,
shook,
well,
man.
it's your
Definitely
baby and
shook.
It was down. So,
That's exactly right.
Yep.
So,
All the way from home.
But I've been doing this since '78, so I know how to put these back and forth together. And,
oh man, I certainly appreciate her.
yep.
Back to normal operations. Day 5, starting late, 11:44. But better late than never, as they say. I go from despair to happiness in a real quick time, the car being back under me. It's pretty country out here, really. And it's really good people. Everywhere we went, the people were real kind to us, sympathetic. So it was nice to see.
This is Buffalo Bill's Ranch. Apparently we're in Hershey, Nebraska, or close to it, from what we can tell. But just a little stop along the way on the Lincoln Highway. Another little place to check out.
That's a much better feeling today. Finding 91 octane around these parts is a little rough. I'd rather have 93, but I certainly don't want 87. Hey, but they have ethanol-free 87, so I've got a few gallons of ethanol-free 87, which got me to a pump that got 91. So, I don't know, it's running okay, it's not dinging, so it's all good. Still on the Lincoln Highway, and we're in Hershey, Nebraska. No chocolate here. Not surprising, I guess. Population of 600 people. See Hershey, you think chocolate, right?
1928 marker. And I have no idea what town I'm in. Somewhere's Nebraska is where we are. So, somewhere in Nebraska.
Sutherland.
Sutherland. There you go. Donald Sutherland, Nebraska is where we are.
So, our journey on the Lincoln Highway is going to end in roughly 11 miles. Didn't quite make it out of Nebraska, almost. So we're about 30 miles from Sidney, Nebraska, which is just right a skosh left in Nebraska. But that's just the way it goes. I have time concerns. I have to be back for a Rally North America event, and I need to do that. I can't shirk a responsibility to that organization. So I need to be back for, excuse me, that event. We tried. That breakdown just basically threw away an entire day, and a day for us was 400 to 500 miles. So if you blow that off, it becomes a real problem. You can't just make that up. It's too much in this car. But I've got some other cool stuff for you guys to check out, so stay tuned and kind of see where the Mach 1 takes us. We're not going right home, so we're making a little detour.
Turn right on RD-207.
This is where we say goodbye to the Lincoln Highway.
Where the road ends for us. It's RD-207. At least west. Might come back to some spots in the east that we missed.
Today's been uneventful, thank God. So it's been pretty easy going. A lot of miles, but uneventful as far as the car. My wiper switch is kind of a little wanky right now. I gotta tighten it up. You have to grab it, hold the back of it to turn it off and on. It's rained 50 different times, so that's a little trying now. But it's not. You don't need wipers, right? I mean, who needs wipers? You can just see through the raindrops. It's not so bad. Wyoming, headed towards Casper, hoping they have some rooms there. If they don't, then we'll find someplace shittier than Casper. And bad places always have rooms at bad hotels.
This has to do with the detour, and I'm going to try to explain why we felt that was necessary. The Caldor fire in California had always been a concern. It was something that was in the back of our mind, and it was something that was having a real impact on our trip. We had originally planned to take Route 50 back from San Francisco, and of course Route 50 was closed. There's like a 50-mile section of Route 50 that was closed. Another thing that became a real concern for us was the smoke that was being generated by those fires. They were rolling over the Sierra Nevadas right into Nevada. Len and I both have driven that section of Lincoln Highway along Route 50 in Nevada. It is spectacular. You drop out of a mountain and into a valley, and you can see 70 miles across to the other side. It's just, if you haven't ever been there, check it out. It's absolutely gorgeous to drive. All these things, the car breaking down was one thing. That put us 200 miles behind that day. We didn't get the car back until 12 the next day, which was fabulous that those guys were able to turn that car around that quick. But that put us, that next day was to be a 400-mile day for us, and that put us 600 miles behind. To try and do a 600-mile day on the Lincoln Highway in an old car, you just have to drive it. You wouldn't be able to stop. You wouldn't be able to see anything, and it seemed like a waste of time. And the following day, we'd be affected by the smoke from the fires, and we wouldn't see the Nevada that we knew and loved. It just wouldn't be there. So the only reason to press forward would be to just say that we did it, and that didn't make a lot of sense. So there's a couple of things coming up in future episodes that either myself or Glenn hadn't seen before. We decided to detour and do that, and then also circle back around and hit some of the Lincoln Highway. So there's going to be future Lincoln Highway episodes that'll be a little more detailed. It'll be some of the things we missed that we did want to miss but just didn't have time for in the day. So that's the reason for the detour. Those fires, the breakdown, all those things just said, hey, this is time to cut this off and go north. So we did finish up most of Nebraska, which was cool. And then we started going due north. So stay tuned. Thanks for those that are watching. For those that subscribe, great. Thank you. It's appreciated. And we'll see you soon.